In a world overflowing with answers, we pause to ask the next question. Welcome to the space where curiosity meets consciousness, where AI evolution and the environment collide with thought. This is the next question.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take sources, research, notes, and basically pull out the key insights for you.
Yep. The goal is to get you up to speed, give you the important stuff, maybe a surprising fact or two.
And hopefully keep it interesting. So, today's topic, it's called simulated annealing, which I have to say sounds partly like some high-tech AI thing, but also maybe like a wellness retreat.
Yeah, you can see that.
Like your computer decided it needed to find its zen, maybe went to Rishikesh for a bit.
It's a great way to put it, actually, because simulated annealing is this powerful optimization algorithm, but it really does blend computer science, math, and honestly, a bit of philosophy about problem solving.
Okay.
It shows how, a bit of randomness, some patience, can actually lead to the best solutions, even for really complex stuff.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. Figure out how chilling out, computationally speaking, helps crack tough problems.
Exactly. How letting go a little helps find the peak.
Okay, let's start with a classic problem. Picture this. You're in a completely dark theater. It's super hilly inside, weird layout.
Right.
And you want the best seat, the highest point, the one with the perfect view.
But it's dark.
Totally dark. You can only move one step at a time, and your gut instinct is always to step up, right? Feels like progress.
And that's the trap. That's where, lots of simpler algorithms and, honestly, our own intuition can go wrong.
How so?
Well, if you only ever go uphill, always seeking immediate improvement, you could easily find a small hill and just stop there.
Ah, okay.
You think, great, I'm at the top.
Yeah.
Because every step around you goes down. That's a local optimum.
But it's not the best seat.
Not necessarily. There might be a much bigger hill, a way better view just over there, but you'd never find it because you refuse to take that step down, or even sideways. You get stuck.
So simulated annealing is the solution here. How does it avoid getting stuck on that little hill?
This is where it gets clever. The algorithm basically says, okay, hold on. Let's relax a bit. Let's maybe even take a step downhill sometimes.
Seriously, it accepts a worse position.
Sometimes, yes. Probabilistically, that's the core idea. It takes these calculated risks.
Why would it do that?
To escape those local peaks. By being willing, occasionally, to accept a worse move stepping downhill in your theater, it can get off that small hill and explore the wider area.
Ah, I see. So it can find other hills.
Exactly. It increases the chances massively of finding the global best solution, not just the nearest little peak. It's about wider exploration before settling down.
That sounds surprisingly wise for code. Where did this idea even come from? It wasn't just like a programmer having a moment of zen.
Well, maybe indirectly. But no, the direct inspiration is actually from metallurgy, from annealing metal.
Annealing, like heating and cooling metal.
Precisely. You heat metal way up, then you cool it down very, very slowly. It makes the metal stronger, more stable, fewer defects.
Okay, how does that relate?
Think about the atoms in that hot metal. They've got tons of energy, right? They're jumping around like crazy, almost randomly, like partygoers at a big wedding barat, total energy.
Right, chaotic.
Yeah. But as you cool it down slowly, gradually, they lose energy, they start to settle, they find their optimal places, forming a strong, stable crystal structure, like the uncle's finding a comfy sofa as the party winds down.
Okay, I get the analogy. So the algorithm copies that.
It mimics it directly. It starts with a high temperature variable.
Meaning it's like hot metal, lots of random jumping.
Exactly. At high temperature, it has a high probability of accepting even bad moves, worse solutions, going downhill. This lets it explore really broadly, like those energetic atoms, jump around, see what's out there.
Avoids getting stuck early on.
Right. Then it cools down according to a schedule. The temperature variable decreases.
And like the cooling metal.
It gets pickier. The probability of accepting a worse move goes down and down and down. It starts focusing on improvement, converging towards the best spot it's found. It settles into that low-energy, stable state.
Wow. So it's part science, part strategy. And you weren't kidding about the flossy bit. Maybe even dating advice, like you said.
Don't be too picky early on. Explore widely, learn from maybe some bad dates, then get more selective as you figure things out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It really does seem like this isn't just about algorithms then. It feels bigger, like it's about life.
I think it absolutely is. If you apply this idea to, say, your career.
Okay.
If you only ever take the safe uphill steps, the obvious promotion, the slightly higher title, the guaranteed raise, you might end up on a pretty small hill. Decent, maybe, but with a limited view. a local optimum.
Stuck in a comfortable rut.
Right. But maybe, just maybe, if you're willing to take a few weird paths,
Yeah.
try a risky project, maybe a lateral move that doesn't look like up immediately.
Go downhill for a bit, metaphorically.
Exactly. You might discover a whole new landscape, a much higher peak you never would have seen from your safe little hill. It applies to creativity too, right? Early bad ideas are just exploration. Or personal growth, stepping out of your comfort zone, feels bad short term, but leads to breakthroughs.
So the big takeaway is sometimes you need to, cool down your ego, tolerate feeling a bit uncomfortable or like you're going backward.
Yeah, precisely that. Tolerate short-term discomfort to explore more widely and find a better long-term outcome. Don't just chase the immediate up.
Okay, this is fascinating conceptually. But this algorithm, this quiet hero, as you called it, where is it actually working out there in the real world?
Oh, it's surprisingly common, often working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Think about complex scheduling problems, like in a factory, figuring out the absolute best sequence for jobs to minimize waiting time or maximize output.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Route optimization is a big one.
Like for delivery trucks.
Or even Google Maps. When it's figuring out the fastest route, considering traffic, road closures, it's exploring a huge number of possible paths. Simulated annealing is one tool they can use for that kind of problem.
So when my map app suddenly tells me to take some weird side street, it might be doing a bit of this downhill exploring to find a better overall route.
Could be. It's also used heavily in designing complex things like integrated circuits, finding the best way to lay out millions of components on a tiny chip.
Wow.
And even in AI itself, tuning the parameters of complex models, finding the best settings when there are countless combinations to try.
So what connects all these problems? What makes them suitable for simulated annealing?
They usually have what we call a really complex solution space. Imagine trying to find the highest point, not just in a hilly theater, but in a massive wild jungle full of peaks, valleys, cliffs, dead ends. It's incredibly easy to get lost or stuck. Methods that just charge uphill blindly, they're doomed. Simulated annealing. It doesn't panic. It explores smartly. It uses that randomness early on to jump around and then settles down methodically. It handles that wild jungle landscape really well.
It really is a profound idea hidden in an algorithm. This whole deep dive, it feels like the core message goes way beyond just computers.
I think so too. What simulated annealing fundamentally tells us is, look, the path to the best place often involves what look like wrong turns or backward steps along the way.
Yeah.
That feeling of discomfort or taking a worse option temporarily, that's not always danger. Often it's actually discovery.
So true wisdom isn't about perfectly avoiding every single mistake or bad move?
Not at all. It's about knowing when to accept them, learn from them, let them go, and keep exploring the bigger picture. Have the courage to step back, to leap forward.
So a final thought for you listening. Maybe next time you feel stuck or you're worried about making the perfect next move, just remember this. Maybe chill out a bit.
Take that wrong step now. Explore a bit.
So you can reach the right peak later. Think about that. Where might that apply in your world? Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
If this made you think, imagine where the next question will take you. Subscribe to stay curious, because the journey never ends. It only evolves with the next question.